Last week, the sous chef was asked to do dishes, and now he's being asked to be a sous chef. Now he wants to go back to dishes. Vienne jumped on a shiny sword for Johnny, and Captain Jason pulled a submarine out of his ass.
I'm Morgan.
I'm Lane.
Welcome to Below Deck Experts. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Below Deck Experts, the sibling duo YouTube show where we recap current Below Deck seasons. Today we're recapping Below Deck Down Under, Season 3, Episode 2, Too Many Cooks. Self-explanatory.
Good title.
Yeah.
Straight to the point.
Oh, yeah. So the main points I have is I put continued chefy drama.
Yeah.
I already forgot how to pronounce his name.
Vienne.
I hope we're saying that right.
I hope so too.
Because that sounds really different than the way it's spelled.
Yeah.
We'll just go with it. You guys can make fun of us if you want. We're trying our hardest. I was even in Google trying to have it pronounce it, and it kept saying Wuhan. And I'm like, I know that's not right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's not it.
So we'll go with Vienne. I have
Vienne.
Vienne and Harry both have the hots for Bree.
Yeah.
And we have an almost perfect charter, and then the docking happens.
Yeah.
So.
Not bad, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
Okay. What are your thoughts on Bree so far? And is she going to play into the love triangle?
I think she will. I just see her friend zoning Harry. I just think that's going to happen.
Okay, so you think she's going to go for Vienne?
Yeah, I think she's going to go for Vienne. I think Lara is going to go for Vienne as well.
You think? She doesn't strike me as someone who wants to go for anybody.
Me neither, but there was a little moment in this episode where I'm like, I could see that's where they take it.
Oh my God, I had a note, and I'll see if you agree. I think this is like the best looking cast in a while.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, they're all saying like Bree's the prettiest, but then I looked at all the girls and I was like, they're all pretty.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't say Bree's the prettiest, but I also wouldn't say anybody's the ugliest.
Yeah, but
that sounds harsh, but like, you know what I mean? Like,
I feel like it might be that way every season because we don't hate anybody yet, you know?
No, I'm not going to say names because like that's shitty.
We're both thinking of the same person, yeah.
But I don't feel this way at the beginning of every season. You
Fair.
can clearly pick out the ones that you're like, yeah, they're not gonna hook up with anybody.
Yeah.
But these are all kind of wild cards, to be honest. Like, swear to God, like the deck crew and the interior, I couldn't think of it for a second. Yeah, I can't pick out somebody that I'm like, yeah, they're okay.
Yeah.
What do you got for me?
So I know I'll just ask you. I was going to explain the whole question and then just ask you, so I'll just do that. Would you have put the food on the table at 8 as
Ooh.
like, because the guests were like, put it on the table at 8 no matter who's there.
Yeah. Okay. So I went back and forth on it too, because, you know, that Marina's like, but they told me like specifically, they're like, put the food on the table, even if people aren't there. And of course, Lara's like, no, that's not happening. And at first I was like, is she like discounting Marina? Like, is she just whatever? I don't care about you. Like, or not that, but like, I'm not taking you seriously, I guess.
Yeah.
So at first I was like that. Mm-hmm. And then it happened and I'm like, good call, Lara. Like,
yeah,
you know, but my note was, what did it say? Oh, I said, why would these guests be so adamant about the food and then completely disregard? I said, that's just tacky.
Yeah.
I was more mad at the guests than anybody.
Yeah.
Why insist on that? Just let them do their thing.
I know. I don't know. It must have been like the tail end of an argument or something. Like,
Yeah.
no matter what, have the food there. Like, or just show up when you want because you're the guest.
Exactly.
And who gives a shit.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not like you're waiting on anyone else. It's just you. Like, they know what they're doing. I can't remember did they have an issue last episode with food coming out too late?
I mean, they were worried about it, but I don't think it actually came out late.
I don't think so either.
I think they were just worried by the time they got everything together it was going to be cold, but I don't think the guests felt the brunt of that.
Yeah.
I think they got it all figured out.
So that's what I said. I was like, I don't know why you would be adamant about that. And then shows them at 8 getting dressed and taking pictures. Oh, it just completely,
Yeah.
I don't know. So that's my answer is like that. Yeah, the whole thing.
Yeah. What the heck are you doing?
What the heck? Okay, so we start off the episode with Zarina and Anthony, and he's telling her to use him more. And then we're like, okay. Like, and Zarina seems like she's responding well to that.
Mm-hmm.
And everything seems fine. And then she's like, okay, totally hear you. You want to do the beach lunch? And he's like, yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah.
And then he's like, are you going to cook the beach lunch? My next note was like, what the fuck does he want? Like, I'm so confused.
I found this wallet. This wallet has your ID in it.
That's exactly
this
how I
is your
felt.
wallet. It's not my wallet.
Then take it. It's not my wallet. That's what it was.
Yeah, it was like, and that's why I had that very hard to say line in the intro, where it's like, you've been asking for this, and now she's giving it to you, and you're like, and he's like, what? I can't do dishes anymore. I'm too good for dishes. It's like, you said it. You said that.
His actual words were, I'm going from dishwashing to canapes, which I looked up as like appetizers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's literally what you asked for.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
And your job description, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I was just as confused.
He even said last episode, like, I'm not a dish chef.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does he just want to be mad at something?
I think
We'll
so.
have to see. I mean, this episode, you kind of see him, and we end with him kind of talking shit. We'll see where that goes.
Yeah.
But I really was hopeful. I was hopeful, like, right within the first minute when Zarina was responding okay to him saying, you need to use me more. I was like, oh, cool. Maybe we're going to put this all to bed. No.
Nah.
I was like, maybe they were just teasing us, thinking like there was a bunch of drama. Maybe it was just right at the beginning. But now I'm like, no, that's not true.
Well, yeah, and it just doesn't make any sense because if the whole drama was like, use me, and she wasn't using him, I see it. Mm-hmm. Now he's getting what he wants and he's still pissed.
Yeah.
So
now he doesn't really have a leg to stand on.
No pot to piss in.
Oh, and then poor Lara's still crying.
Yeah.
And I didn't
She's been crying for a week.
A whole week. Zarina comes in and like is talking to her, and it was nice of Zarina because I think she was kind of crying because of the situation with Zarina. It wasn't really about Zarina, but it was like about the situation, and she just felt really overwhelmed. And then she goes into talking about how she's always wanted approval from her dad, which, hey, I'm not gonna say anything about. Like that's your business.
Yeah.
So, but it was fine. I mean, I'm things between Lara and Zarina seem good right now, which is a positive.
Yeah. Let's hope that keeps going.
Yeah.
Even though it doesn't really matter, their rooms are huge.
Oh
They
my
basically have their own room.
Did you notice there's another bunk in there that they're not using?
Yeah.
But it's big anyways.
Yeah,
like
it's
even
huge.
even if there were 3 people in there, it'd still be the biggest room I think I've ever seen.
Yeah. What
They
the
could do
hell?
yoga in there.
Yeah. You could jog in there. Place is crazy.
So now we're at the guests going on the beach. Is that kind of where we're at?
Yeah.
Because I said the water looks gorgeous. Did you notice that?
Yeah. Oh my God. Wherever place they are. Oh.
I know. So it sucks that it's so far away from us.
Yeah.
Maybe one day, but that's pretty far.
Yeah. I don't have a passport. I can't do that.
Marina is then talking a little bit about her family and that she wants to buy a house for her grandma.
Yeah.
Which is like super sweet. She said there's like 14 of them. Can 14 of them just give a little bit of money to buy grandma a house? I mean, it's really not that much if you divide it 14 ways.
Yeah, it's really not that bad. Like 14 ways. That's like 20 grand.
That's a nice house.
For a super nice house, yeah. I'm not that good at math.
Then another thing that made me laugh was Johnny, which I think we're going to like him.
I think so too. Unless he really turns,
Yes.
I think we'll like him.
Because we were like, oh no, And then everything he's done since then has been actually funny.
Yeah, he might be the type where he like looks like he's gonna be a problem, and then he's a big old goofball. You never know.
Because he goes, first impressions matter, and mine was not so good. I actually laughed out loud at that.
Yeah,
because I was like,
good.
that's the only way you can handle that. You can't get like you literally just we're floating away on a jet ski.
Yeah.
You can't be mad about that. It's too funny. Like
It is pretty funny. Yeah.
oh my god.
Even in the moment, he wasn't really that mad. He was just kind of like accepting, like nothing I can do.
So they're at the beach. Beach lunch looks good. We didn't really get any deets on like did Anthony end up cooking it? Did Zarina? Like I don't think we even know.
So it all confused me because, and like I try and watch the food because they usually don't tell us, but like they had the raw steaks in the kitchen marinating. Normal. Don't see what happens at the beach. Anthony is flipping a fully cooked steak on a very high flame.
Yes.
What are you doing?
Well, they said they were cooking them over a charcoal grill,
Yeah.
which is tough.
Yeah, but you don't flip it more than once. So that kind of tells me he was warming it up.
Okay.
But then, like, why are you warming it up on a fire? Like, where the fire's touching the meat. What are you doing?
That's weird.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not a chef, but I wouldn't have even thought of that.
Neither am I. I could be dead wrong, but...
Have you ever cooked steaks on a charcoal grill?
Yeah.
To me, that's tough, unless you use like a meat thermometer.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it came out very well, but I think I've done it.
Yeah. Oh my God. I would be the worst. I've never cooked steaks, and I just know I'd be so bad at it.
Oh, really?
I'm not a good cook anyways.
Brad, like, always cooks steaks here?
Always. Yeah. There's certain things I will cook. It's the basic stuff. And if we're going to be any type of adventurous, that's usually Brad. Because he doesn't get overwhelmed either. Because I'm very type A. I have to follow step by step by step. He doesn't care. And so that's why he's better at it. Chefs are not a type A usually.
Yeah, sometimes they just throw shit in the pan and see what works.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's awful, but usually it's not bad.
What was it last time? Oh, we made steak tacos and Lane.
Oh, yeah.
Well, actually, it was partly your fault and partly Brad's.
Yeah. I don't know who has more blame. If it's me, I'll take it. But, yeah, so, quick story. Brad brings, like, taco or steak for tacos, and he's like, do you have taco seasoning? I'm like, no, but I can whip some up. And in my head, I always make extra seasoning so I don't have to make it the next time.
Yeah.
But I didn't tell him that. So that's on me.
Yeah, so that's where it's Lane's fault.
Yeah, I made it and I give it to him. Granted, it's like a bunch of seasoning.
Yeah, truly. I don't
Clearly
know.
way too much.
Yeah.
And I'm like, here you go. And for some reason, I was like, if you need more, let me know. Wasn't joking. I know that. Don't know why I said that. And so he used all of it.
Yeah.
And then my nephew comes over and he's like, what's on this steak? And Brad's like, oh, yeah, Lane made a seasoning. And he's like, well, like, don't get mad, but it's a lot of salt.
And we were all like, and I think it was before I had even eaten any. And I'm like, oh, well, I really like salt.
Yeah.
Like, I'll always add extra salt to stuff. Even I was like,
Yeah, and then I was like, sorry, guys, like, it must just be my, like, sober tongue. I'm still getting used to, you know, not drinking every day. Like, my tongue is getting... And then I tried it. I'm like, ugh. I'm like, if there's leftovers, I'm going to wash the meat. I've never done that.
I would have, too. That's a good idea. Anyway, so, yeah, Lane made the seasoning. Brad used all of it when he should have just used a little bit of it. So they're equally to blame because Lane didn't tell Brad, but also Brad did not need to use any sort of that amount of seasoning, no matter what kind of seasoning it was. So, all right, back to the beach lunch. Did you note any of the food?
I was just the steaks.
Okay.
I didn't really see much else.
Sorry, my glasses are hurting my head, so I'm gonna wear my headphones like this for you.
You look really cool.
Waka waka. I'm cool.
You look even cooler
I
now.
am so cool. I am hip. This is what the kids do.
I don't want to leave here at all.
Okay, so then this they do like a flashback of Zarina because I think at this point, Captain was talking about Zarina and like how she was on last season. And I'm like, I totally forgot she quit for 12 hours.
Oh my God.
Do you remember that? I'm going to take my glasses off for a little bit. That'll solve the problem.
I vaguely remember that.
Yeah, remember? She was like, it was the teppanyaki, and they're like, we want you to cook it in front of us. And she's like, yeah, fuck that, I'm out.
Oh, yeah. It was like early in the season?
No, I think it was later.
Really?
Oh, we should know this. We literally covered the...
Yeah, I mean, I remember it happening. I just don't remember the details.
Anyways, yeah, basically that's what happened, but then they couldn't find another chef, and she came back after like 12 hours, which after I remembered that, I was like, interesting she's back.
Yeah.
After that happened.
Yeah, well, it was also on Down Under, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Captain was there and like would know if she's trustworthy or not, but I feel like if it was another captain, they wouldn't have brought her in.
Or it was just all for the show.
Could be that too.
Maybe it didn't actually, wasn't
maybe
actually
it never
real.
happened.
Yeah.
You're gaslighting me.
Yeah,
Who
exactly.
knows?
Basically, that's all I had for the beach. Then they like go back to the boat and then they get on a submarine.
Yeah, guests like the food, and Anthony was, what was he was saying something, and he's like, I don't want to be like this, but he was being like that.
No, I don't remember. I don't have that written down.
I can't remember. It was dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then a submarine just shows up.
And I said, no, thank you. I don't care if we're only going 10 feet down. No, thank you. I don't like cramped spaces.
Yeah, they never went underwater.
Yeah, they did.
No.
They were sitting underwater.
Yeah, like they were underwater, but the boat never, like, it was really a boat.
Okay, I can
Yeah.
deal with that.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I thought at first, and then I was... Did you want to know what I thought?
What?
I was like... You're only going to understand this if you've ever been to Wisconsin Dells.
The ducks.
I thought it was like a duck.
It basically was.
It wasn't, though, because it's basically just designed to be a boat with a viewing area that's below the boat. It's not even really a submarine.
No.
It's actually not a submarine at all.
Yeah, it's just a deep boat. I don't even know what to call that.
I know. But yeah, that's what I thought. I'm like, oh, it's just a boat that turns into a submarine.
Yeah.
But do they have those? I feel like
Yeah, it's just a submarine. So you're not, like, wrong. The only reason I know that is because when they were showing them down there, you could see in the background, like, the sky. So I know they weren't underwater.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't pay that much attention, but that's so funny.
Yeah.
I thought it was a duck.
It could have been a submarine because submarines can be a boat, but then they go underwater.
But submarines aren't really like, yes, they can be above water, but there's no captain up there.
No.
Like, it's just, you just see it. So that's why I was confused.
Yeah.
I thought maybe it went underwater, but then I bet if I would have looked a little closer, I would have been like, yeah, no, that thing definitely doesn't go underwater.
Yeah, it was pretty rickety.
Oh,
Submarines
geez.
scare me.
But even that, I don't really have any interest in that. Like, I'd rather snorkel.
Yeah, I'd much
You
rather
know?
snorkel than be in a weird boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marina fell asleep.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
I was like, they had to wake her up. And at first I thought it was going to be an issue.
I
I was
thought
like,
it was
is she
too.
going to get in trouble for that? Or are they going to say something? But it wasn't. It wasn't an issue. She was literally sleeping, though. She wasn't even just resting her eyes. She was asleep.
out. Like, they put in, like, the noises, like the me, 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 but she was asleep. Like,
Because they were like, hey.
hey.
So then for dinner, they're going to do Cowboys and Cowgirls Texas Picnic Hoedown. I was like, that's too many words.
That's offensive.
No. Maybe it's because we're from the U.S., but there's no way I would ever say, cook me food from Texas.
No.
On a boat in Africa.
Don't cook me food that I can get if I drive 3 hours from my house.
Not even.
Yeah.
Barbecue you can get anywhere. Now,
Yeah.
good barbecue is obviously better in Texas than here, but
Yeah, I was thinking like St. Louis.
I don't think they were from the U.S., so that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
It would be like us having like an Outback night.
Australian, not like Outback the restaurant.
Yes.
Bloomin' onions for everybody.
Nothing but blooming onions.
That's it. So then Zarina just asks Harry if he's been arrested. Or Harry, not Harry. Anthony.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, no. And she's like, oh, I can't even count how many times I've been in the back of a cop car.
It's like, okay. Brag much?
Yeah, like, I don't even know where to start with that, but
Yeah, that's a lot to unpack.
it's a lot to unpack.
It kind of reminds me of like a nervous thing. Like you're pretty sure someone's okay with talking about something, but then they're not. And you're like, oh, yeah, I've
Never done that
done
either.
surgery before. It's crazy.
Okay, so this is where we get a little bit of insight, which is maybe why you have the thought that Brianna's going to friend zone Harry.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have Brianna likes Harry, and Harry's like, yeah, she's out of my league. But then they go back to Brianna, and she's like, we're going to be really good friends.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what she means by that. She could mean kind of like a, maybe we'll be friends, maybe we'll be more, or she could mean, yeah, I'm not going to date this guy, I just want to be friends with him.
She could be planning to rob him. We don't know.
But didn't last episode she say she thought he was cute?
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah. I think
I
there's
mean,
potential
I'm
then.
pulling for my boy Harry, but we don't know.
Vien, though, not bad looking and doesn't seem like a bad guy.
He kind of looks like Shaggy from the live Scooby-Doo movie, or live action.
I don't think he does.
I think he kind of does. There was the picture they have of him online looks like it, and Brianna looks like Daphne.
Oh my god. Oh, that's a Facebook message. Sorry. I thought I had it pulled up. I'm gonna pull him up and see what he looks like. And Brianna looks like Daphne.
A little bit, yeah. I think it's mostly the hair, but you know.
Yeah, I don't.
Let me see. Yeah, he does.
Yeah, I'm like
Maybe-
don't.
maybe
I
he
see
just
where
looks
you're
like the
coming
actor.
from. Let me put Brianna below deck down under. So one of my favorite podcasts is Brittany Broski's. I sent it to you one time. If you don't know her though, it's not one you can just jump into because you'll be like, this is weird as fuck. Because she's like super weird, but I think she's really funny. She's like my kind of weird funny. And all she does for her show is it's just her in a room. It's nobody else. And she just literally Googles random stuff and talks about it for a little bit. And then she kind of goes with her like ADHD thoughts. So it's like, go this way. She just basically will sit in a room for an hour and think of whatever she wants to think of and Google it.
Just sits and just riffs on
Yep,
stuff.
that's it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, you should listen. The one I sent you was pretty good. But yeah, you have to go into it knowing what it is.
Yeah, like a Theo Von, Andrew Schultz, they all do that. Yeah.
I see more Daphne in her than. Ooh, she's even wearing purple here. Look. That's exactly what Daphne would wear.
Yeah, I said Daphne.
No, I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah.
That's literally a Daphne outfit
Yeah.
from the cartoon because she always wore purple or pink or whatever.
If I don't have time to put in the picture, just Google her name on Google.
And you'll see it.
Yeah.
Where are we at? I lost
Because
my
this goes
spot.
live in 6 hours.
Oh my god, I totally forgot we've been recording on Thursdays. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Okay. We have Marina telling Lara that this is the 8 o'clock thing. We already talked about that.
Yeah. Weird.
So we can skip that. It was just kind of a weird thing. Like, why say it? That's basically what we think about that. Okay, when they started serving dinner, when they started talking about it, I was like, I literally can't envision this being fancy.
Yeah, no.
You can't make barbecue fancy.
No, you can't.
So I was hoping they weren't going to be mad about that because you cannot make it fancy. It's just, it's meat and corn and coleslaw and potatoes.
That's kind of the best part, though. Like, the best barbecue places look like a cafeteria.
Oh, yeah. So
Yeah.
the best Mexican places, too.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it can't look nice otherwise.
Yeah, they give you a metal tray, you tell them what you want, and then you shut the fuck up.
And sometimes you can't even really tell them because they don't speak very good English, and you're like,
Yeah.
whatever I get, and that's totally fine with me.
You just kind of point at it.
Yep.
Or point at
I
a
think
guy
I
that's
want that.
holding
That's
it.
fine.
Like, that looks good. I want that.
So then they bring the food out. And I don't know if you made any notes about the food, and you can say that in a second, but I just looked at the corn, and then they were like, this corn is good. And I was like, I know that corn isn't good.
No.
And maybe this is me being Midwest, we get fresh corn here. even here where we live in the Midwest, we have sweet corn literally in the backyard.
Yeah.
You know, it's so close. There's only a certain window where it's good.
That's true. I didn't even think about that.
Because even here, you can get it from the store and it's bad.
Yeah.
But you know it's fresh. It's definitely fresher than the one they sent to Africa.
Yeah, there's like a month in a year that sweet corn's good.
Yeah.
And there's no way.
That's what I'm saying. There's zero. I would love to know what that sweet corn tastes like.
I know. Yeah.
Isn't that interesting? That was just a thought I had.
Yeah, because, I mean, we have a frame of reference, but they don't. So it's probably really good to them, but we would be like, eh.
That's true because they're not American.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they even said, this is really good. And I was like, is it though? I really wonder if it is.
Yeah.
No shade to Zarina. It's just, think about, it's like shipping lobster here. Like, it's not going to be as good as if we had it in Maine.
Yeah, no.
And that's even closer than
But we think
Illinois
it's really
and Africa.
Because we don't live over there. Yeah. Yeah.
So, any notes on the food besides that? I mean, they didn't really say.
Yeah, I had just everything I saw: steak, deep fried corn, lobster, vegan cornbread, baked potatoes, or some type of vegan baked potato. Yeah, it looked pretty good.
Yeah. Classic barbecue.
Yeah.
Then they put on a little bit like a show for the guests. Harry's in a blow up horse.
Yeah, it was weird.
And in my mind, I'm like, are you being cynical, Morgan? Like, because I was like, this is cringy. I'm like, would you think it's fun and funny if you were there? Probably. I don't know. I would have went along with it.
I try and like put myself there too, and I'm like, like maybe I break things down too much. But I'm like, this, you didn't have to do this.
I know.
Like,
I'd have been like,
yay. Like, don't, just go. Go.
Give me a drag show or nothing.
Yeah.
That's what I say. So it's the last day of charter. Basically, that was the end of that day. So we see Adair and Lara kind of butting heads, and we don't exactly know what the situation was. Basically, Adair was saying, like, why don't we just not make the beds? Because they're leaving soon. Mm-hmm. And I get her point. I guess I see both points. Mm-hmm. She's like, we're just going to strip the beds when they leave, which is true, which is like, yeah, why waste the time? But they're going to go to breakfast, and then they're going to go back to their room. And it's 5-star service for your bed to be made, even if you're not going to lay back down in it.
Yeah.
You don't want to walk into your bed not being made. I mean, that's a regular hotel, but this is like thousands and thousands of dollars. It's just kind of one of those silly things that logically, yes, because she's like, I guess we work harder, not smarter. And that's actually true.
Yeah.
Because it's 5-star service. It's silly things that you do because it's 5-star service.
Yeah. And that was kind of my same thought process. Like, on paper, makes no sense. But they're also tipping $20,000.
Right.
As a point to, you, like, compared to, I mean, like, you'll leave $1 on the nightstand in a hotel room.
Right.
Very different.
Very different. I gotta start tipping more when I leave hotels.
I forget
too, and then I'm like, okay, let us know in the comments. Is that still a thing? Like, I think I understand it when, like, for example, all-inclusive resorts. Mm-hmm. That's usually a thing. Like, we left a couple dollars or whatever, like, every day. But at like let's say you're at the Holiday Inn next to the airport. Like, are you leaving money?
Yeah, because I don't know, because I don't think it's not really made to where they're like supplemented with tips. Like,
I don't know. Paid. Maybe it is. I don't know. I hope it's not.
I hope it's not, because I owe some people some apologies.
I get so, like, we could go into a whole spiel about tipping, but it sucks that it's on us because I don't have a lot of money.
Yeah, I'm very passionate about that.
Yeah.
It's so dumb.
It's putting, yeah. Walmart delivery too, that makes me mad. I pay for Walmart delivery and then I'm expected to tip, and I want to tip because I appreciate the person that I know is only making probably $5 to do this. But then I'm like, no, it's Walmart, the billionaires at Walmart that should be giving them more money, not me that can barely afford another $5 to give them, you know?
Yeah.
It's so infuriating.
Yeah.
Breakfast was truffle frittata. Did you write that down?
No.
That sounds gross. I don't like mushrooms, though.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was good, but oh God, could you imagine traveling with a vegan? We say this
That
all
would
the time.
suck. Like, especially if you're paying.
Well,
You're like, give up for a week, you know?
this is the worst, though. No, because if you're paying, then you can be like, no, make me what I want, and then make them something separate. But it was the primary's girlfriend that was vegan.
Oh.
So all the other people kind of had to just go with it, right?
That sucks.
That's the worst case scenario.
Yeah. I mean, you're also on a yacht, so who cares?
Worst case scenario for being on a yacht in the middle of the ocean in Africa. God, so pretentious.
Your submarine doesn't go underwater.
So, okay, I said, here we go. Our first dramatic docking.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah.
They don't even get me anymore.
I know.
I'm like,
ever since Sandy crashed the boat like 5 times, I'm like, oh, you popped something? Cool. They popped a fender.
they did pop a fender, which I was like, oh, shit, they did actually do that. Because usually it's absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Like, usually nothing at all happens.
Mm-hmm.
But that probably shouldn't have happened.
Nah. No.
Because they probably lost that thing. And who knows? Anything on a super yacht, that was probably worth like $5,000.
That was probably like 4 of my cars. And it's just a bag.
Now,
that holds
granted,
air.
your car is worth about $250.
Yeah, so that was like $1,000.
We've said this before, but State Farm is like, please, God, crash the car.
Crash it. Like, we don't even care. You don't have life insurance with us. Like, just get rid of it.
Oh. There was way too much talk on the radio, which I understand, but I was like, he's really trying.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that because it wasn't like he was like, hey, Captain, how you doing?
Right.
He was like,
kept saying things.
Like, we're about to hit. We're hitting. We're about to hit this. And he's like, I know. It's like, well, he told me to tell you.
Well, he was saying things that were helpful. He was like 5 feet, 3 feet, 2 feet. But I think what Captain was saying was like, you don't have to tell me every single foot.
True, yeah. And he had his like finger on the button the whole time.
Because so no one else could talk, which is an issue. So the one little comment I had was during that, Adair was like, chill out, it's just a boat. And I was like, I feel like I'd be friends with her.
Yeah, and then you'd be like, what do you mean?
No, if I'm not in charge of it,
True.
I'd be like, whatever, not my problem.
Yeah, you do kind of disconnect from those things.
Yeah. I'm so 0 to 100.
Yeah.
I'm either freaking out, involved, or completely checked out.
Yeah.
There was, I don't want to go too far off topic. There's just a short little story. So as you guys know, I'm a therapist. So that whenever I'm in social situations that are not with the people I'm closest with, which is kind of rare. But was in Arizona. I was around these people, and this lady starts talking about how she like can't sleep, and she was like, yeah, it's because of like trauma. I didn't check. I checked out so fast. I was like on my phone, drinking, like looking away, like not my job.
Yeah.
And I know that might sound shitty, but another girl that was there she's my age actually, and she's really nice. She actually said the next day, she's like, I saw you do that. She's like, I have a friend that's a therapist who does the same exact thing. And I was like,
really?
That's crazy that you saw that, because nobody would notice that. Like, it's very subtle. It's not like I'm like, oh, like I'm just like,
don't talk to me, I'm a therapist.
right. I'm just like, I'm not going to look at you anymore. Like, I'm not going to give you the eye contact. I might check my phone every once in a while. Like, I'm not going to be a bitch, but like, I'm definitely not actively listening to you. So it was just funny. I guess that I was like, how did I even start talking about this? It was because I was like, chill out, it's just a boat. Like, sometimes that's how I am, because I'm like, not my problem.
I can only handle so many problems.
Yeah. So Captain wasn't super happy with the docking. He said he was embarrassed, and I was like, ooh, he's embarrassed.
Ooh, you were driving, asshole.
Ooh, who's the driver?
Ooh, yeah, I wasn't. You mad because we popped one of your balloons at your big party?
You can afford another one.
At your driving party? You suck.
So then Johnny, he said something else funny. He's not getting much airtime, and I want him to have more.
Yeah.
Because he was like, I really like how Captain handled that. Big respect, Top G.
Yeah. I was like, careful with that shit,
Yeah.
Johnny.
Careful. That was okay, but let's not get any farther.
You might not know what that means, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Or when they recorded this, it wasn't a big deal.
So we're basically getting towards the end. Zarina also makes another good point. She says she's the stepmom to Anthony, and that he really doesn't want. And I'm like, that's honestly pretty accurate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because like she can't do anything right.
Yeah,
Like,
he's like very indifferent to her.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? I guess that was it about that. The tips 20,000.
Yeah.
They get about like 1,500 each.
Dead nuts average.
Dead nuts. Then I forgot about the disco helmet,
Oh, yeah.
but I'm glad it's back.
Yeah.
And they got us, right? Because we're like, Johnny's definitely
Johnny.
going to get it.
Yeah.
He floated away on a jet ski.
Floated away on a damn jet ski.
But then they're like, just kidding. Sven. I want to call him Sven now.
Yven?
I'm going to call him Sven from,
Vienne.
what's the movie?
Frozen.
Frozen.
Yeah.
I wanted to say Wicked. Definitely not
Different.
Wicked.
No.
No. He got it, and he was cool about it, which is fine.
Yeah, but Johnny deserved it. Like, that is the perfect thing to get that helmet.
It's so
And then
true.
they didn't give it to him.
And you can't give it to him next week because it's already passed.
Yeah, he did it last week. He's not going to do it again. If he does,
Man, that's a
that'd be
good
funny.
point. Because I feel like Vienne is definitely going to do something else in the future that could warrant it.
Yeah, but that was...
But the jet
Johnny, that is the perfect thing because, like, no one got hurt. They didn't lose
Yep.
money. Nothing got broken.
I know.
Nothing was affected, and it was funny. And it was a screw-up.
Yep.
Put the helmet on him.
I know.
Make them all shiny.
He was so ready for it, too.
Yeah.
He's like, I deserve it. I floated away on a jet ski.
Yeah.
Damn. I forgot. I didn't think of it that way, and now I'm kind of like, damn.
Nah.
Damn.
Yeah, and they're like, the leader falls on the sword. I'm like, it's not really a sword.
Well, yeah. Well, they were talking about the docking.
Oh, okay.
Is why he got it, I think.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Because I don't think you'd blame him for the jet ski thing. Like, what was he supposed to do about that?
Yeah. Oh, okay. So, like,
I think he
that
got
was
it,
his, like,
yes.
embarrassment. Like, it wasn't a big deal, but you were
Yes.
talking on the jet ski's way funnier.
Way funnier.
Like, put a little jet ski sticker on there. That's hilarious.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
Yeah.
Make him carry the key around.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, so basically that's it. They go out. They're at dinner. Everything seems to be going good, and then you kind of hear Anthony. And I was going to say talking shit. I mean, would you consider what he was saying talking shit?
Not really, because he was just saying, like, I wish she would use me more, or it would be better if, like, she used me more. And he already said that to her, so I don't really count that as talking shit.
Yeah, I can see both arguments. One, you don't have to be talking about it. I can see Zarina's point.
True.
Like, no, you don't need to bring that up to, like, outside. You know, just like how interior would get irritated if somebody from the interior was like bitching to the deck team about the interior.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's kind of that way.
Yeah.
But I also don't think he was saying anything too bad.
No, I think, and I meant to bring this up earlier, I think there's a disconnect. Like, Zarina is fairly, like, sensitive, and he is very, like, traditional chef, straight to the point, angry at the drop of a hat, and she's very different, and I just don't think they've meshed their Venn diagram yet.
Yeah, I see that. I hope it's not the case, but I just see him in every situation kind of being like, well, I would do it this way, and that's the better way.
Yeah.
So I hope he can let go of that, because it's just not the case. You're not the head chef. You have to go with it. And
You're not that guy, pal.
yeah.
You're not that guy.
So who knows? Speaking of that, the coming up on is more drama between them. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
And then the other thing we see is Harry struggling on the jet ski. And then I don't know if he's hurt or not. They want us to think he is.
Yeah. Didn't he get hurt last season?
I don't remember.
I don't know. But, yeah, I could see that.
It's one of those things where it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's one of those like, oh, I could have stubbed my toe. Mm-hmm. Or it's like, my leg fell off.
Yeah.
Which it's never the leg fell off. It's usually the toe. I don't know what I'm saying anymore.
Usually the toe. The toe will go first, for sure.
Word of the day, the toe.
I was going to say return of the helmet.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Is it? Yeah, because that's all I could think of. I like went back through and because it was actually genuinely a surprise to me because I forgot about it.
Return of the disco helmet.
Return of the disco helmet. Okay. Anything else?
That's all I got.
Well, thanks for hanging out with us. We're back in the studio, which is my guest room / office. Yeah, you'll see. Did you want to mention about the new thing we're doing?
Yeah, so at some point, I don't know if it'll be this week, we are doing a separate, like, story time chatting.
We have to think of a name for it.
Short episode podcast where me and Dee Dee just kind of talk and tell stories, and we're going to see. We've been wanting to do it for a while, and we're just going to see where it goes and what happens with it.
Did you just call me Dee Dee for the first time on this podcast, do you think?
Maybe.
Because you didn't even realize you said it.
No.
And I don't think you've ever said it. So
yeah, I don't know.
When you said it, I was like, people are going to be like, what did he just say? He calls me Dee Dee. He has since you could talk because he couldn't say sissy. And it never fell off. So whenever he refers to me, he calls me Dee Dee. But if you don't know that, because like it doesn't
come up a lot because I'm not like, hey Dee Dee, like
yeah,
when
you're
do. Right next to me.
Oh yeah, when you're right, yeah.
Yeah.
But when he's probably said Morgan, he could count on both hands how many times he's
like
called me Morgan.
Times,
yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to say that because when you said that, I was like, people are definitely going to be like, who?
Yeah, I think it's come up before, like a couple seasons ago. And
maybe
like,
you're right.
Dee Dee? And then people call me Brad, and then it's all over.
Oh yeah, people do call you Brad, which is weird. Mm-hmm. I guess I refer to Brad, but I always just feel like they're gonna know it's Brad.
Yeah. Well, the way you say it, it's like whatever you say, it's very like obvious that Brad's not in the room.
Right.
So maybe people just hear it and then like associate it.
Oh, I don't know. But yeah, we're going to start doing, we have to think of a name for it, whether it's like the after show or the pre-show or whatever. Maybe it's some sort of after show, but we realize we go off track a lot and we like telling those stories because we know people like that, but some people don't. And so we're like, let's just separate it out. I know we still kind of go off track a little bit, but we're going to do our best to not go super off track in this show, keep it really below deck. And then we'll do like an after show. It's probably going to be anywhere between 15 to 30 minutes every time we post it, but we'll sprinkle those in here and there.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for sticking with us, and we will see you next week.
We'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye.